Hello, hi, and a big welcome to Crank. Hello, hi, and a big welcome to Crank Lead Competition 2023, proudly brought to you by Petzl. We are live from Camp5 Climbing Gym at East Mall in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's a huge day of climbing ahead, plus sweet treats and sweet deals all weekend at Craft Marketplace. Come find us, just walk in our doors, find a spot to enjoy the view of the competition. We are at G3. There's also direct access from the L1 car park. Huge thank you to our sponsors, without which this event could not be run. Our title sponsor, Petzl, along with all sports equipment, Verticale, Waltopia, Corzone, Bowler, Sime Derby Property, Crux Particle, and Region Physio and Sports Rehab. 48,000 ringgit in cash and merchandise is up for grabs this weekend. Of course, if you can't make it, we are live on YouTube, kicking off the live stream action in just a bit with the qualification round for Youth 1. We will take a break after the Youth 1 qualifiers today, but join us again at 1:45 p.m. as the rookie qualifying for male and female takes place. That will be followed by the open qualifiers. I'm Renai Matu, part of the communications and marketing team here at Camp5, and I am happy to be joined today for the commentary with Patrick Andre, co-founder of Camp5 and director of coaching. Hi, Patrick.
Hello, how are you?
Good, and excited to be here for Crank. Patrick, this is the 6th gym, the 6th Camp5 you've designed. Are you excited to see it being used in competition?
Yeah, it's amazing. And just looked at all those great routes that came out. And yeah, it fits perfectly in this gym. The routes look really challenging, but also pleasant to the eye and good for climbing. So yeah, we're looking forward for a really exciting competition.
This is the 6th Camp5 you've designed. What is special about KL East?
First, it's that amazing building we are in with vistas everywhere, a lot of natural light. And the second one is, of course, like a good layout, which good circulation through amazing climbing walls like be Lead or Boulder. And the key feature, I would say, that makes the signature of KL East is the tsunami wall.
The tsunami wall, of course, the main event, the main feature today, what we will be seeing all the routes on. Can you describe it a little bit? It's you can't miss it on the way in. It's spectacular.
Yeah, tsunami comes from, as you know, it's a wave, and it looks like a wave. It's crushing towards the opposite wall, which is the island, and it's also kind of looking as if it comes towards the cafe, which is the main vista point of the gym when you enter. I would say there's a couple of features that make this wall very special. In itself, of course, that steep overhang, which is great for competitions and good for professionals, left and right, easier climbs, that's one thing. But it's also an architecture feature that in the world, and what makes Waltopia walls great are their surfaces, their panel quality.
A little bit of insight into the tsunami wall. We hope you are suitably inspired to come and check it out yourself this weekend. Join the crowd. Now, Youth 1 action is about to start. There are 13 female and 13 male participants competing in this category. Everyone is aged between 16 and 17 years old. Patrick and I are ready to go. Both male and female competitors are getting ready to go for a 10:30 a.m. start. first climber, has just come down, actually. It was Alyssa Johnson, female on the left on the blue route. Patrick, she's from the UK. Did you manage to catch her climb?
Yeah, she topped up, so which is amazing.
So what you're seeing at the moment on the screen is the Youth 1 category. Both the youth, male and female, are in action at the same time. On the left of your screen, on the blue route, is the female route 1. And on the right of your screen at the moment is the yellow route that we're focused on today. That's the male Youth 1 route 1. Now, the competitors have 2 routes to compete in qualifying. You can see now, up on the left, this is Youth 1 female. Second climber, it's Shania Wong. Go Malaysia! We have a Malaysian representative up there. Patrick, you know Shania?
Yeah, of course. She has been a member of the youth team, of our youth team, for a couple of years. Ambitious young lady. She, from what I expect, is that she cruises this route in very fast time and will top out easily.
You can see she's making her way up the wall. They get points based on how high up they go. And ultimately, from this group of 13, 8 finalists will go on to tomorrow's final. Tomorrow's final, however, is just one big route.
Just for everybody's information, the first route is considerably easier than the second one. So I guess we expect the stronger athletes to top this. And then the seeding will really start on the second round. But nevertheless, interesting to have a look at it and see the different techniques.
Sort of a warm-up.
Absolutely.
Kind of
I mean,
round.
for Shania, for sure, this is a warm-up.
Now, a lead competition in this region, very rare. I mean, this is open to everyone, guys. Athletes, weekend warriors, plastic pullers. What are some of the other lingo I can use here, Patrick?
Plastic pullers. It's a good one.
Yeah, open to everyone, basically, this competition, and it's a chance for everyone to get involved. And it doesn't matter how strong you climb, there is something for everyone. Is there not, Patrick, on the wall?
It is that there is one main difference that holds some people off to do lead, is that you do not really have a second chance. I mean, if you fall, you fall. And if you compare, let's say, a bouldering competition and you don't flash the problem, so you can actually get back and you have a couple of minutes time to climb the problem. And here, if you bunny hop at the start, you're gone. So it's much more pressure.
Much more pressure, but much more exciting if you're watching it as a viewer, obviously.
Yes and no. The thing is that they have 2 routes here, so in the worst case scenario, if you don't do so well on the first, you can still do well on the second. It needs more focus, and not everybody is made for that. We try to convince people to take part on lead as well, just because it's a good tool for you to focus. It's a good tool for you to learn how to position yourself. You'll learn much more about climbing than just bouldering. And you can see now Shania, as I promised you guys, is topping out with ease. Good done, well done, Shania.
Okay, so that's Shania with her first route. Anything interesting to you that stands out in terms of the moves, Patrick? Where is they being challenged? Where's the crux?
This route is rather consistent. So at the last few moves, maybe it beefs up a bit. But as I said before, this one is not designed to cut people off. And as I said before, here you have a chance to actually get to the top. So we also don't want that people go and they fall on the first quick roll. And that's what you said before. We want to have something for everyone. If we go hardcore on the first quick roll, we create a lot of frustration. And in the end, even if you're not doing to the final, you can at least say, hey, I topped the first round, I got close to top, and so you will have an experience to take home.
You can see our third female participant getting ready.
So as you see, the competitors have time to prepare. So she's taking this time, which is what she's allowed to. So now she will get into the groove.
So each competitor has 5 minutes route. 5 minutes. And the way that we're running this continuous. This could be Gwen Ho, Malaysian female. Up on the route. Guys, you don't have to watch it on. You can actually just join at Camp5 KLE. Where Kale all weekend walk in the snow. Craft mark. Booze, ready to serve. Gear, the food. Some of these athletes might need this weekend. I see you've got yourself a coffee from Camp5, Patrick.
Come again.
Got a coffee from Camp5, our Eat Well Cafe there. It's going to be pumping coffees all weekend.
Yeah, let's have a look at Gwen. She had a little bit of struggle. She was not in a proper position, and she pumped herself out a bit because she has been clipping 2 times with bent arm. So she's still rolling. Let's hope that she can make this next move. I think this is okay.
For competition, is it compulsory to clip every clip?
I didn't get that.
Do we have to clip every clip on the way up?
That's a rule. Basically the rule is that you can clip as long you can clip, you are fine. So if you get higher, you will be able to as long you can still clip, it counts. But if you climb above the point where you cannot clip anymore, that's the highest that is count, and then you will be called down because you will not be able to. You saw she is generally clipping a little bit higher than the others, which pumps her out, and so you can see that her experience is a little bit less than the former climber. She's trying hard, which is good. Her technique is good. Her positioning is a little bit different for the reason of maybe a lack of experience in lead. And you can see sometimes she double steps with her foot, so that shows that she needs a bit more practice, but you see, nevertheless, she tops out, which is great. So, good job.
When coming down, she'll be happy to have made it to the top. So the thing about Crank, which is unique, is it tries to follow the IFSC rules very closely.
Correct.
And is there a reason for that?
Yes, the reason, of course, is that even in a use, we want to instill the same practice. So kids from the start, when they enter competition, they understand the rules, they follow the rules, and when it comes more serious, they know what's going on. Of course, this competition is less stringent, but then the rules are the same. Like, for example, for the clipping or start bunny hop, like when you touch some part of the wall that you're not supposed to. All these basic rules of lead are taken one-to-one from the IFSC rules. So here we have Callie Parker. So I expect from her also to top out. She's also a member of the Camp5 youth team. Her finger strength is incredible. So yeah, it should be rather easy for her.
Callie Parker from the UK, also a member of the
And as you can see, Callie is tall, so she can relax and reach easily.
Okay, we've gone to a two street. On the right side is the first of the youth male competitors. All the way from Singapore. Right. Etienne. How's my friend?
Let's look at the French name and try to pronounce it. Etienne is definitely French. Farsi, I would say.
My apologies. Oh, Singaporean climber up on the left. As we heard from Patrick earlier, this first round is usually a warm-up.
I mean, this route is definitely a notch up. And there, I'm expecting a bit of pump. The holds are not too bad, but they're all relatively similar. So what does it mean? When the holds are similar, then you normally will be using the same fibers on the forearms, so there will be more pump. I don't think that's really a problem for this athlete, but it will create an additional pump.
The athletes do have a half an hour gap between their first route, second route. Is that enough time to overcome pump?
Yeah, half an hour is a very good rest time. Like a 5 minutes rest time would be possible, but it would create a different challenge. Okay. So when you look now at the new format at the Olympics, where the climbers don't have so much time for rest, there you will see that there's another factor of endurance coming into the play. On a half an hour rest, it's pretty decent. Maybe can you just go back to Callie for a while, because she's just topping. Okay, here we see her clipping as predicted, easy. Okay, let's go back to Etienne.
Didn't break this. Oh, just missed the drop.
We have to improve a little bit on our reaction time with our director, but we promise you we will be better on the next one. As you could have seen, unfortunately I didn't see the fall of Etienne, but there was clearly an element of pump.
It did not look like he made the last clip.
Oh, he didn't top out. So you maybe want to know how we actually calculating the points of what is achieved. So the main point is, or the main criteria of ranking is how high you get. Every hole is adding a score. So the higher you get, the higher holes you hold or you move on, the more points you get. There is a formula in the IFSC that the two routes will be square rooted, and then the number will give you the ranking. So it's a bit complex, but in the end, to simplify this, it's based on how high you get. We have another French, so to call this is Chloe Bourgeois. Bourgeois, that's very interesting name. From the French society. She's climbing this quite easily so far. In the camera we have this looks like Paul Iron, but it should be Kuala. On our list we actually have Kuala, but this looks much more like Paul, and I know that because he's also in our team. And
very big team. Very big team now. It's grown over the last 2 years.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have various levels in teams. We have like a base camp, which is the starting to learn the basic technique, and then we have the squad, which is a big group of different levels, and then the top performers are what we call the youth team. So Paul is currently in the squad, and he is one of the contenders to move up to the team.
For anyone that is unaware, Patrick is the director of coaching here at Camp5, and over the last couple of years they've built a formidable and the only youth program. a youth development program that includes taking kids from as young as 8 years old. 8 years old, they come in on the base camp.
Yeah, we have even younger ones. I mean, we have for the really, really young ones, we have even a chicha club. Okay, you just saw Chloe topping out. So let's go back to Brian, please. Okay, Brian is making his way up. Okay. So obviously you can see the yellow route is taking its toll, and I can also see that it's difficult to climb fast here. So if somebody tops out, they might have to fight against the clock as well.
When does this clock finish? Finishes a wet and then a 30. And then there's another one, there's a break, right? So we cut it at 3.
On the girls' side, Mina Edwards is starting from Canada.
I have to say, this lineup is pretty. We've got the United Nations here, Patrick.
Yeah.
United Kingdom, Malaysia, France, Canada, America, Japan, Colombia, China, India, Sri Lanka, all represented.
Just don't think they all were flying in from Canada. I mean, that would be great.
A large number of these are students in international schools here in Malaysia. So let's be real, right? But
So-
it is a very
so
wonderful.
to be fair,
to
yeah.
be fair.
Oh, we just swapped over in the right time to see a fall on the main route. Can you please go back to the girls? So Mina is cruising, getting to the head wall. So now maybe the route setters start wondering whether they underestimated the skills of the girls, because so far all of them made it quite easily. Easy cruise here.
Blitzing that. So what does go into a route set? What do they take into consideration when they are actually going to put up a challenge on the wall like this?
I mean, the main challenge is to estimate how strong the competitors are. And this year it was a bit more challenging because we just started with the new youth program, and normally this is a good indication to see where are the strongest of each age group, and then normally we cater the hardest route towards the strongest, and then the rest goes like easier. So that's the main consideration. Of course, it's a bit difficult to gauge, like if people from India or from Thailand or Singapore or the Philippines come over, because we have really no idea how strong those kids are. And so what are we doing? What are we trying to achieve? We want to achieve a wide spectrum of difficulty, so all the participants have fun while we still need to be able to see. So that's the main consideration of difficulty. But of course we have consideration of quality of climbing, different challenges of moves, visual impact of the route, how can we please the crowd, and so on. So there's a lot of thinking going into putting up a route.
You are watching Crank Lead Competition 2023.
Coming to you live
From KL East Mall in KL East Mall. We are at Camp5 KL East, the latest, the newest Camp5 here in Kuala Lumpur.
On the left of the
On the left of the screen, we have the Youth 1 female competitors. This is their first route. Girls have been hopping this easily. We have a strong batch of
I
girls.
just saw
climbing
Kaya,
today.
which is the sister of Mina, also topping. So both sisters made it to the top.
If you are watching on the live stream, found us. Thank you for joining us. Bear with us as we get through some of our teething issues this morning. Definitely come back for our 1:45 stream. We'll be watching the rookie and the open qualifiers this afternoon. On the left side of the screen, the first route for the Youth 1 female. These are the 16 and 17-year-olds. This is Leah Holman from the United States.
The girls have been making short work of this first route. As we heard from Patrick Andre earlier, first route not so difficult. They have 2 routes, of course, and 5 minutes each to 5 minutes to try and complete each route. There's a half an hour break between each route. How are you young? On the right side, the yellow route there. The first route for the male climbers.
And we have Leah Holman from the USA on the other side.
Is she resting at the moment, Patrick?
Come again?
She's just sort of resting. What do you think? A little bit of trouble for Leah.
Yeah, that's it.
Good try, Leah.
So she was a little bit in the wrong positioning and she could not correct it. She was not comfortable to step on this big hole. Now she's very disappointed. But hopefully she does better on the next one.
So do the competitors actually see this route before they come out? They've seen this route before they've come out.
There is no isolation. They can see the route. They have a lot of time to look at it. But then sometimes looking at it and knowing how to climb are 2 different things. So Gail also just fell. So now we have one more competitor on the male side, which is Alec. We call him Kai. And again, one member of the youth team. And on the female side, we have a Japanese climber, Ritsuka Sasaki.
Has she put herself in a better position in this round?
Yes, because she was using another foothold below, and then she was backstepping, and then she could get quite easily to the next hole. So then she didn't really have to bother about how she steps on the big hole.
And is there a difference in difficulty for taller and shorter climbers?
No, the difficulty is the same. I mean, the difficulty is very subjective, and of course, different body size require different beta. But in the end, the difficulty is the same because in most cases, a 7C is a 7C independent on your body height. in general, what can be said? Oh, Kai was a little bit unfocused, I would say. So going back to that, like in general, if the route is less steep, then a taller climber has an advantage. As steep the route gets, the more advantage a shorter climber has. That has to do with the fact it's like comparable the condor to a colibri. A condor, of course, can soar a lot, but it needs a much larger wingspan to be able to fly due to the weight. So a tall climber is heavy, has a larger reach, but when it gets steeper, gravity pulls much harder, and the levers are long, so it becomes a problem on steep climbs. While on a slab, the reach is an advantage.
So a huge step up from the Japanese.
So I think, sorry for apologies, this is Kai. So we saw somebody else climbing. Sorry Kai, that I didn't have confidence in you. I was wondering actually what you're doing. So now we see a different Kai.
Okay, so Kai,
part of the Camp 5 Youth team. Shout out to the Camp 5 Youth team.
So Ritsuka made it to the top. And you see, that's what we were talking about. She still had to clip on knee high before she can clip the anchor. So if she would go higher and clip the anchor directly, then she would not be counted for the anchor. Also, if she would, for example, go up to the top of the wall and hold. Look at Kai, now he's moving.
A successful top there from the Japanese climber.
So you have seen that going through these volumes is a challenge for the climbers. So this you can see here it's a problem of positioning because they don't have a hold on the left. So yes, so as you see, he had a barn door here and he managed to hold on. But this takes a toll. So a lot of climbers pumped up here, and he is struggling too.
So when you read a route, positioning really important when it gets to a move like this.
Positioning in general is important because if your center of gravity is not in the proper position in relation to your base of support, you need a lot of body tension and strength. So here in this one, he needs to put a lot of pressure on his right foot in order to hold that right hold. So he's going for a high step now. That's it. So you see that's going into a back step position, which allows him to put his center of gravity underneath the handhold he's holding. So sometimes he was listening to us, obviously. Oh, here we go.
No coaching. Actually, he got here.
Yeah, I jinxed it.
Nice one, Kyle.
Made the crux of that.
So he will get points based on how high.
Yeah, look at his height. He is on the way to the final. But then nothing is lost for anybody because the next route will be the big cedar.
And so mentally,
So
these
mentally,
climbers have
these
to get it
climbers have to
together
get it
in the
together
qualifying round, just to move on and
Move
make
on.
sure that they're primed for the next
Primed for
round.
the next
Get
round.
what's behind
Get what's
them,
behind them.
keep going forward.
Yeah, I mean, if you top out the first round, it's relaxing. If you didn't top out the first one, the pressure is on. Okay, this must be Emily. Emily looks Malaysian, but she is from the United States. So we just claim she's Malaysian when she wins.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
We're all Malaysians if we win.
So Patrick is laughing
Because we have
a lot of countries represented here.
Of course, these
These are mostly international students that are studying in Malaysia.
We'll take that.
We'll take that.
Yeah, if she studies here,
Girls are
she
doing well.
has a bit of Malaysian blood.
It's in the food.
It's in the food,
Yeah.
in the water, in the hay.
We say, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
Come on, Emily.
Now,
For somebody watching at home, the type of pole.
Here, it seems to be a lot of
seems to be a lot of
slopers
slopers on the girl,
the
front ones, the females.
and
There are-
Technical route on the right side.
Yes, for the reason that it's actually a slab, or it's not steep, so it doesn't really make sense to put up like chunks for this level of climbers. So remember that the second route will be steeper, so then there will be no more slopers, and if there were, that might be much harder. Now you can see let's look at how this Proximus is moved. So here was the point where a lot of climbers were struggling, and he makes progress here.
quick work
Quick work of that.
heel hook,
Heel hook
clips in.
Yeah.
clips in. Nearing the top. I think he's going to make it. We haven't seen
So
many of
this
them,
move-
the male climbers.
Okay, that hold was better than expected, so he could go up there.
Oh.
See, even though that move was not that hard, but the pump took his toll.
So close. He's going to be disappointed with that. But
I
still
I
higher
don't
than most
think
have got.
he will be disappointed because
Welcome back to Crank Lead Competition 2023. If you're joining us on the live stream, thank you for bearing with us as we work out our teething issues. What you're seeing on the screen now is the routes for the second routes for the Youth 1 qualifiers. We're just waiting for the athletes to get started. On the left side, on the green, you'll see the male 2 second route. And on the yellow side, here, the female second round. Once again, if you're at home, what are you doing at home? Come and join us. We're at KL East Mall, a brand new Camp 5 Climbing Gym for you to come and check out. Loads of coffee. There's a craft marketplace. Have you had a checkout of the craft marketplace, Patrick? What have you picked up from the craft marketplace this weekend?
What have you got your
eye on?
My eyes were on some cookies.
Definitely some cookies.
Yeah, so I will definitely sneak out at one point and get some of those.
Yes, I think
so. And you'll be sharing them with us here, Director Atira,
and
myself, Pranay Matthew, part of the media here. Would like some cookies.
We all like cookies.
Okay. Big thank you to our sponsors who make this happen. Title sponsor. Very exciting for us to have the support of our sponsors. Petzl, All Sports.
Get it in April.
Verticale, Voltopia, Corzo,
Bola, Sign Derby Property, Crux Particle, and Region Physio and Sports Rehab. 48,000 in cash and merchandise is up for grabs this weekend. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of cool gear.
Maybe I should have competed, but we don't have a veteran category.
A veteran category. Well, maybe we should start one.
I mean, there will be senior plus 40 and veteran plus 60.
No, Patrick, you're not plus 60.
Soon.
They're over 40.
I wait 2 years and then I open the veteran category. So the only time I can win.
That's a good idea.
Good idea.
Just
waiting for the competitors to start for the Route 2. We've had Route 1.
What can
you say about the field, Patrick? The females, let's start with the females. They blitzed through that first route.
Yeah, for that reason it's at the moment difficult to predict how this is going, because obviously I'm not talking bad about the route setting, but obviously it was on the easier side because most of the competitors top, so we don't have a differentiation except in time. So we will have to see what's going to happen on the second one, and I expect disqualified route setter team to have come up with some surprises and definitely some continuous increase of difficulty, which then will create that separation that we are achieving or trying to achieve. Looking at what they have done on the youth 4 and 2, there was actually a very good seeding, so it worked well. So I expect some similar success coming up on yellow. There was a bit more separation on the male route, but the real deal is coming now. I mean, the real deal is the final. But let's look at what's going on in the qualification. Okay, here, first girl out of the starting blocks.
Alessandra Johnson, United Kingdom. We've had to wait about half an hour between rounds. It's a half an hour break that they get before they start the second round. Here we go. Alessandra Johnson from the United Kingdom, kicking things off. And on the left side, you'll see the male competitors get going too. Etienne Fastis from Singapore.
So looking at the right, Alexandra is part of a climbing family. So 3 siblings, all in the Camp5 youth program. So a lot of passion.
Of course, the youth program developing climbing skills from a very early age onwards, and giving them in the final youth program competition experience, assisting them. How do you guys assist the youth team?
The main goal of the youth program is to give opportunity to youth to train in a supportive environment, and so it's not only about competition, it's about movement and camaraderie, working in a group, working with a team, and then of course all the basics of climbing, about skill, about how to overcome your fears. And I think mainly it's really about having a good time. So whoever wants to climb on their own, wants to climb with a team, is invited to join. It's not about winning, it's about being part of this movement, being part of this community. Okay, they're climbing in sync, which makes it easy for our camera lady to follow. You can see now Alexandra is not cruising that so easy like the first one, so we can see that's a notch up on the left hand side. Also we have work on more larger hold, but require a lot of sideways body positioning. Now you can see it's steeping up, and we have the first fall.
Also,
so they were nearly in sync and were falling as well. So now we will have the second pairing coming up.
once again, a big thank you for our sponsors for making this happen. Petzl, All Sports Equipment, Verticale, Waltopia, Corzo, Bowler, Time Derby Property, Crux Particle, Region, Physio, and Sports Rehab. Join us over here at KL East Mall. Camp5 is on G3. You'll find access via the play climb area, as well as direct access from the level 1. If you're joining us now, this is the youth 1. Second female climber on the wall.
So we see Shania Wong.
Shania Wong, the home girl, the Malaysian girl. She topped easily in the first route.
On the left-hand side, you see Kuan from Ireland. He as well is part of our youth program. He's currently in the youth team. He used to do rugby. That explains his frame.
Good old Irish boy, rugby.
Of course. They are doing quite well at the current World Championship in France.
A good climber.
Yeah, they seem to climb well as well.
But as we say at Camp 5, everyone can climb.
Yes.
What is this move that Kuan is trying to do on the left side?
Here, Kuan was struggling a little bit, which he will not like that when I say, but has a little bit to do with his flexibility. So he will know what I mean. Yesterday we did some mobility exercises, and yeah, there's a reason why Asians are easier when it comes to squatting. So hip flexibility is naturally better with Asians. So you need to do more mobility exercises, more flexibility exercises when you are from European descent. But he's doing well here. Shania takes her time. She needs to start speeding up a bit to not getting timed out. So here comes the high point of the former competitor, where this hold is not that easy to hold, and he needs to be able to get in position that he holds that next volume from the right. That's quite unconventional.
We should call that a knee jam.
So here high heel is key, and he is succeeding.
Got the clip there.
So Shania is moving up as well. Good effort from Kuan. So you can see now on the female side it's getting harder.
How much rest do you get on the way up? How much rest can you get?
Resting is often a result of ingenuity. Sometimes you can maybe find a knee bar, or you can find a place to where others don't find, and then you can shake up. You have times to rest, so what we are normally looking at is dividing the lead route into sections where we find islands of rest. But nowadays we don't have so much time left. It used to be nearly double the amount of time in the lead rope in the IFSC. So now the climbers are forced to climb faster, less rest, so they can throw in maybe 1 or 2 rests, but they cannot rest forever because otherwise they get timed out. But rest is important. for the reason that they climb 5 or 6 minutes in the final, and there's no way you can climb 6 minutes without rest or without bringing your heart rate below the aerobic threshold.
On the left side, in action now, homeboy, Malaysian representative, Zuhair Al-Zam bin Muhammad Zamri. Nice work from the Malaysian, taking a moment there to assess. The athletes get 5 minutes for each of these climbs. Doesn't look like Zamri's going to need 5.
He looks very fluid and in control. So now let's see how he does on the heel. He uses a toe hook here as an alternative, which allows him to hold. So they still has to bring his body over. So you can see that, ooh, he nearly succeeded. It was a good try. So you could have seen that he tried to squeeze the volume, which created that tension. So he was very close to succeed.
Very close, very fluid. Here on the yellow route, Wen Ko, another Malaysian in action.
So you have seen
The athletes at the moment are on the tsunami wall. This is the big feature of Camp 5 KL East. This area that they're climbing on, slab.
but not anymore here. Here is all steep. I mean, not that steep. This side of the wall there is slightly overhanging with the last bit steeping up. But of course the center of the wall is massively steeper. So all the steep walls are reserved for the finals.
Good effort from Gwen.
So as I said before, Shania high point would be, in my opinion, a bit the benchmark, and see whether anybody can get higher.
On the green route, you're now watching Kurian, the climber from India. There is a group of Indian here for this competition.
Malaysian youth program. I mean the Camp 5 youth program. There was in fact there was a team coming from India, like 10 youth. I had the opportunity to do 2 days coaching with them in preparation, and yeah, it was fun. So that was great that they came all over from so far to compete in this to take part in this competition. So Shriyan was fighting on this kind of weird undercling move. So now let's look at Kelly. So she will be a good indicator on the route in comparison to Shania. So these two, they will definitely fight for the podium. So let's see how she does here. So Joshua on the left, he is in the youth program in Wanutama, so he climbs lead there often. So let's see how this law in Wanutama helps him to tackle this one. So this portion here is a bit tricky because you need to really be able to hold these holds from the side. Kelly is still very relaxed and in composure. So now let's see how Joshua is doing here. So far, quite relaxed. You see, this is now a resting position. She's sitting on the heel, so which helped her to shake out her right arm, and now preparing for the next move. So Joshua is getting to the high point. Let's see how he does on this move, which is definitely the hardest and most technical sequence so far. Now he's out of balance. Let's see. Oi. Not how I would teach people, but he is still on, so that justifies his actions.
Different approaches.
Yeah, as a coach, I cannot look at opinions. We have to look at technique. But in the end, if you succeed, that all justifies. Come on. He's doing really well.
Got the clip.
Last move, come on.
Getting the crowd getting behind. Good.
Awesome. And he tops.
10.
Great effort. As I said before, there is always a good way to do it, but in the end, if you get to the top, I cannot say anything.
He is the first to make it to the judge.
Okay, and already in motion, next competitor, Chloe.
Joining Chloe on the wall, on the left side on the green row, is Paul Byron, America, United States.
It's nice to see how people like, for example, Paul have been developing over the years. We know him since he is a boy, and now he's a young man. So it's just always rewarding to see how they grow as a climber and as a person.
Patrick, you would have seen some of these. You would have seen some of these guys in competition action previously through the Camp5 Climbing competition.
That's really true. We do really a lot of work with international schools. And we started actually already some years ago. I think 2014. I think was the first time. Like we started with 2 schools, and now the inter-school competitions have become big events with 250 participants from 10 to 12 schools. And so it's really great to see how climbing has become part of the PE curriculum in schools, that more and more international schools, and hopefully in the future also government schools will invest into climbing infrastructure and climbing software. So due to the structure of the international schools, of course, it's currently easier to set up school walls there. And you see the result. It's like climbing has arrived. And so we recruit a lot of the kids from this environment. Oh, 2 falls within 1 second. Maybe Paul got distracted there.
Synchronized
Yeah,
falling.
it's not synchronized climbing, not synchronized swimming.
Synchronized.
Looked elegant.
Graceful. Very graceful. Yes, so the most recent Camp5 Inter-School Climbing Comp was held at Echo City, Boulder event. What?
Yeah, and that was one of our largest events with schools so far. And we are expecting them to become bigger. and we might have to do them over 2 days because of the number of participants. So this, as I said just before, it's not only about hardware, it's not only about having infrastructure, it's also about supporting the schools to develop proper programs so they can teach the kids not just rope safety but also skills. So climbing is an interesting sport in schools because it develops more than just movement. When you start top roping or lead, you also have to learn how to be responsible, how to be focused on safety, how to be working in a team, how to trust yourself and others. So there's a lot of very interesting benefits for experiential learning. And schools have discovered that and realized that it's a sport, but it's more than a sport. And it's maybe sounds weird, but it's a sport that nerdy kids love. So we have a lot of very smart kids here. So maybe I can say with pride, intelligent people choose climbing.
But of course. It's a very cerebral kind of sport. It requires you to do mental calculations while you're moving your body.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than that. It's, for me, it's, I think the community building aspect of climbing is just amazing. It's like a tribe and very supportive, especially in Malaysia. The tribe is really helping each other and the community is growing. This is one of the mottos of our company, of Camp5, to develop this community. So we hope that the community keeps growing, and I think it is. We don't have to hope it, we can actually observe it.
The Canadian Mina Edwards on the right there.
Just on Monday they had a training sessions in Jumpa, Camp5 Jumpa. So I was there to give some last tips, and yeah, she was actually climbing quite strongly. So she is now on close to the high points of the other two.
Sri Lankan Hamdan Maulana. And maybe not before, Patrick, but have you found that since it's become an Olympic sport, there's been more people exposed to it by the last Olympics? That climbing has experienced a kind of boom in any way in Malaysia?
Okay, maybe I'm the wrong person to answer that, because I'm not, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Olympics.
Oh, controversial.
No, very controversial topics. Yeah, I can explain my point of view here. Oh, sorry, we in all excitement about the Olympics, we missed the fall.
Hamza is a bit disappointed about that.
So let's look at the girls' side. So we're talking again about the Edwards siblings. So this is Kaya on the heels of her sister. Let's see how the internal sibling competition turns out. Okay, going back to the Olympics. The Olympics is a very old format, and a lot of the sports are very, very classic. And the Olympic Committee realized over time that they are a little bit old-fashioned and outdated. And so they decided to bring in sports which are what we call alternative sports. So these sports were very different from the classic sport model. So that includes climbing, surfing, skating, BMX, a lot of very individual sports, kind of renegade sports. We like to call them also vertical sports because they work with or against gravity. And these sports inherently are very different from how the Olympics is organized. So they developed over time with a total different structure, like surfing, for example, super professional. And they also have a huge amount of followers who are not tied to clubs, they just do it for fun. Skating is very similar. So to try to integrate those sports into the Olympic model is kind of an oxymoron. Whoops! Good try though. So then we realized that Olympic needs climbing more than climbing needs Olympics. And many countries are kind of obsessed to be part of the Olympics, but not so much the competitors, but it's always coming, the drive always coming from the associations, because the Olympics is also always a promise of additional money. And we know all that if you want to be professional in the sports, you need to be supported. Otherwise, your parents have to support you, which is tough. So yeah, so okay, so you see, I'm getting too distracted with the Olympics here.
Thomas Alicia there, the attempt, Portuguese athlete.
From the Olympics is that, especially in Asia, the climbing being part of the Olympics has woken up some politicians and some people who are not really related to the sport, and they think, okay, how can we get a medal now? And so there is definitely more interest from that side. Like, I would call it a push from above. But you know, the realistic, you had speed in the Olympics, and if I look at how many more speed climbers have been created in Malaysia since it's Olympics, we say 0. So there was very little influence there. When you look at community building from private side, like climbing gyms all over Southeast Asia, then you can say that the real push and the real development of climbing has started 30 years ago, when the Olympics didn't even know how to spell climbing.
Look on the right side, she has an issue with the clipping.
Yeah, she Z-clipped, and she now has to take this one out, re-clip. Yeah, so here we go.
Here we go, Leah Homan on the right side. On the left side, Heathcliff Venable from Thailand. What would have happened if she had left that Z-clip bit?
She would just not be able to climb higher. Too much friction on the rope. So, because it creates a Z, and then you're basically creating a pulley that pulls you downwards. So it will result in a bad fall. Like, you just cannot have enough strength to pull this up, so you have to take the quick draw. You see, that's what I love in climbing, you know. Everybody gets a cheer. It doesn't really matter how high you get, because it's always your personal challenge. And we support everybody. It's not about winning here. Of course we want to win, but it's about participation. Not many sports have this so inherited like climbing.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see on even a weekday, people pushing themselves here and suddenly getting a roar of applause in the crowd, going allez, 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 for you working on your personal project.
And sometimes people climb to the top of a boulder problem, and then everybody cheers, and then turn around, who is cheering? And then everybody supports, and I think that's just amazing.
We're over halfway through. The right side, Ritsuka Sasaki, the female climber from Japan.
Yeah, so I'm not finished with my ranting about the Olympics. I come back here. One of the things is, of course, if there's more money, then it's great. But for us, it's important that money gets distributed at the base. So grassroots movement, working with youth, working on a wider base is much more important than just supporting one or two individuals. So if there is more money, there should always be the wish and the drive to support the base. That's more important.
The grassroots development of youth programs.
Absolutely.
Community sports, getting involved. I mean, you see that in soccer. How did soccer get so big? It's just that everybody plays soccer. There's always a field somewhere. And there's always a team.
You can see the countries that are now the most successful in soccer are the ones that invest most in the youth development. And that's grassroots development, because you need 5,000 climbers to create one who can go to the Olympic. If you have 2 climbers and you train them, the chance is much, much smaller.
Ritsuka there.
It's looking strong. So now the outsiders might think, is there anybody who can manage to get over those volumes?
Whoa!
And then now the outsiders is starting to get more nervous.
So the goal is always to get a spread of climbers, to separate the field.
The biggest nightmare for the outsider will be that everybody falls on the same hold. Then the biggest relief for an outsider is that 5 people fall on the same hold, and then the next person climbs through, and then one more person climbs through and tops. But it's never good if, let's say, there is a hard move on the 3rd clip and everybody falls there. So that would be not a desirable outcome.
How Yu Yang ascending from his attempt. So you're joining us now for qualification. We'll take a break after the Youth 1 qualifying, but please do check back with us at 2 p.m. The rookie category will get started, followed by the Open. We'll be going live on the live stream at 1:45. There'll be a new link for you. Head to the Camp5 YouTube page at Camp5 Climbing Gym. Even better, come and join us for the action live in person right here at Camp5 KL East, KL East Mall. Emily's son, the American, on the right, on the yellow route, and Gail Emery, Sri Lankan, on the left. Sorry, my apologies. I think I have Gail and Marie from Sri Lanka on the left. And if you are a climber, a lead climber in particular, and you're inspired to come and try out these routes, they will be up on the wall here at KL East for a couple of weeks left for you to project on. And of course, competition routes, always a little bit more interesting. You'll definitely be able to project yourself. A couple of projects.
Seeding in the competition, so both Emily and Gail fell relatively early, so I would say the outsiders are a bit more relieved. So you can see that there was quite a stark difference in between the two second routes compared to the two first routes, and so far I can congratulate the outsiders on doing a good job. You have to understand sometimes the pressure that a competitor is exposed to, because everybody's watching and then you are climbing and you have no other chance. You fall and that's it. The cheering after you fall is a bit of consolation, but then it's still facing that fear. And so we're trying to work with the athletes to be more relaxed about it, not define themselves truly through climbing, and realizing that the main pressure there is coming from yourself. So now we have Kai on the left, and we have a Colombiana on the left, Sofia. Vamos, Colombia.
If you didn't know, Patrick is married to a Colombian, so we have at least two Colombian supporters in the house here today.
Sofia is coming from the same city like my wife, so they're not neighbors. The city has 10 million people. It's called Bogota.
Is there a big climbing scene in Bogota?
In Colombia? Yes, there is outdoor climbing close to town, and there is a lot of outdoor climbers. There are a lot of people who go into the mountains because there's a lot of mountains with snow and rock, high ones. So there is a big tradition of mountaineering. The climbing gyms compared to what we have here in Southeast Asia, they are much smaller. A lot of smaller bouldering gyms. But the people are some strong climbers.
Not a huge mountaineering scene.
We have
Or history. Not a huge mountaineering
in Malaysia.
history in
Yeah,
Malaysia.
unfortunately, Mount Kinabalu is far.
But we are in the home, the veritable home of climbing, rock climbing in Malaysia. KL East, of course, bordering Batu Caves, which is the main sort of development for Malaysian outdoor climbing on the crags there. So we do have good opportunity to develop.
Oh, and rock climbing is good. Actually, Kuala Lumpur is one of the best cities for rock climbing. Let's watch Kai here, who is doing quite well. And I jinxed it. Sorry, Kai.
It's the commentator jinx. There is such
Yeah,
a
the
thing.
second time.
Oh, sorry.
But I would say he made it to the final.
That is the last of the competitive.
No, there's one more coming.
male.
There is another Joshua coming, which is not on your list, but on mine. And on the girls, Guo. So as I said, Kuala Lumpur, of all the cities in South Asia, is closest to actual rock climbing. Singapore, they used to have a quarry, but it's of debatable quality and a lot of issues with access. And Bangkok, the fastest to get there is about 2 hours. So if you are in the city center of Kuala Lumpur, you can get to Batu Caves in 20 minutes. So, which is amazing for such a large city to be so close to good climbing. Bukit Takun is 10 minutes further and actually a world-class facility. I mean,
Plenty of outdoor climbing to be enjoyed in Malaysia.
and a lot of potential throughout the whole peninsula, and Sabah and Sarawak as well.
It's good to know. I like that.
I mean, we have on Tiaman Island international recognized granite peak called the Dragon's Horn, which has seen a lot of visits from international climbers, and also on some of the harder climbs on Mount Kinabalu. There used to be a 9A plus set by Daniel Woods on Kinabalu on a rock called Donkey's Ear. Unfortunately, the rock collapsed in that famous earthquake.
Yeah.
So there were two really good routes on this, on hard routes, and the whole overhanging rock fell down. That was a tragic event. Some people lost their lives. Not climbers, but mainly people who went to Low Scully. Not Low Scully, Low Peak. Low Scully is another level. Joshua looking actually strong here. I should stop commenting. Okay, we are at the last, not least, participant.
Diane Kong, Malaysian homegirl,
Yeah.
ending the list of competitors for the Youth 1 female.
You see now she is clipping with the left foot hanging. Can you watch that? So that means she's in an off-balance situation which tires her out a lot. She also generally clips a bit too high, which adds to the strain. But she did a good effort.
That was the
final
competitor.
Thank you for joining us on the YouTube stream.
I will try to not rant anymore about the Olympics. Bring some positive vibes.
Question again.
This is
what you can see now is the final for tomorrow's final. The finalists, the 8 finalists, 8 female, 8 male finalists from Youth 1 are joined by Youth 2. 8 finalists from the Youth 2 category that was run earlier today. We're going to go for a break now. Please join us back here at 1:45 p.m. We'll have a pre-show, talk a little bit about things other than the Olympics.
We can talk about the World Championship.
Yes, let's talk about that. 2 p.m. The rookie category, followed by the open category qualifying, will get started. Big thank you to our sponsors: Petzl, All Sports Equipment, Verticale, Waltopia, Horzone, Gola, Signed Up by Property, Crux Particle, and Region.
Physio.
And a big welcome to Camp 5 Kale East. We want to see you guys here in person.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
See you guys.
See you guys.
We'll see you guys at 1:45.